Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing my December wrap-up, a little late, but better late than never. And I'm going to start with the books that I read on my Kindle. And I gotta show you, I got a new cover for my Kindle. Look how cute that is. The little touch pen and everything. Just adore it. I love it so much. But the first books that I read on my Kindle, I started with The 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher, a story about a girl who commits suicide and sends recorded tapes to all of the people that she feels are responsible for her going through with the suicide, and we get to hear one of them going through listening to these tapes and sort of his feelings around her suicide and around everything that she went through, and especially him being the person that feels like he really haven't done anything that would make her commit a suicide. So it was an interesting read. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars and definitely a book to recommend. The next book I read on my Kindle was The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Guin. I read that for my Coursera class, which is now finished. I know The Left Hand of Darkness is supposed to be a really sci-fi classic. It's been talked a lot about, like one of the great female authors of classic science fiction, and I really wanted to love it, but for some reason I just could not get into the story. I'm sorry, I just couldn't. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I struggled to finish it. It just wasn't my kind of story, unfortunately. Over to the next, I'm going to take the books that I listened to on my Audible app on my iPhone, and I started off with the second book in the Throne of Glass series, because I listened to the first book in November, the second in December, and I started the third one in December as well. I'm listening to that one right now, and I am in love with the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. And so far I've given both the two first books 5 out of 5 stars. I even gave away a couple of copies of the first book as Christmas gifts to friends. Because I just love it so much. I'm not going to say much about the second book because if you haven't read the first one, I don't want to spoil anything. But I'm loving the Throne of Glass series so much. I love it. And I think the fourth book is coming out in August or September. Super excited about that. The next book that I listened to was The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, and wow, what an amazing story. I just love The Bone Season. And it is the story of Paige Mahoney, who is an Irish girl. It is set in London in 2059, and she is a clairvoyant. She can walk into other people's dreams or their dreamscapes, and this is highly illegal at that time, but she works for the Seven Seals, who are a group of people that have certain clairvoyance attributes, and they use that in a way to make money. It's a very complicated, complex story. I love Samantha Shannon's writing. I think it's really unique and really mind-boggling, the whole story. The Bone Season was amazing, fast-paced, action-packed. I love the voice on the Audible version of it, and yeah, one of my absolute favorites for 2014. I even gave away a copy of that one to my very best friend because I think she's gonna love it, and I hope she does. The first handheld novel I read in December was The Martian Chronicles by Bradbury. This was also for my Coursera class. I really enjoyed this one. It is a selection of short stories about when Earth people first venture to Mars and try to settle there. Ray Bradbury tells a really good story of how humans have a sort of problem with learning from our mistakes, and we kind of venture to Mars and end up doing a lot of the same mistakes that we did here on Earth and having problem facing that. So I really enjoyed that, gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Excellent science fiction read. If you sort of want to get into science fiction but not a very complex story, I would definitely recommend this one. It was a good read. I really liked it. The second book that I read in December was The Twistrose Key. I did a review on this one. I will link to that down below. And as you can see, I have the Norwegian copy of the book, but oh gosh. I just love this one so much. And if you go to see my other review, you will see just, yeah, excellent book. It's about Linlin, a young girl who loses her pet rat. He dies. No, her pet mouse. Sorry. We just gotten pet rats in our house, so everything is about rats here now. But it's about her pet mouse who dies, and he's buried underneath their flower bed, and there's a rose with roses, and for some reason it freezes over. She suddenly received a package in the mail, which is a key that is formed like a rose, and she finds an entry into another world in their basement where this key opens it up, and there you will find every pet that was ever loved by a child who has died. And all these pets have gotten human-like qualities. They can talk, they can walk on 2 legs, they have clothes and everything. And it's just an amazing story. Definitely recommend this one. The next book that I read was Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell. I've been wanting to read this one for a while because I've heard so much great things about it. And it really is a good read. It is a cute story. The story of Eleanor and how she lives in a family where they are, I think they're 5 siblings, if I remember correctly, and a very violent stepfather and suppressed mother, and she falls in love with Park. And Park comes from a family who is more the typical American family. His mother and father are still so much in love, and those 2 very different worlds coming together as they fall in love, and we get to see how they come together as a couple and their struggle. And I thought it was a really, really cute read. And I think I kind of expected a bit more of it, probably because of all of the hype, but I did enjoy it very much, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Joyland by Stephen King, and for those of you who have followed my channel, you know how much I love my Stephen King, and I've been super excited about this one. It is the story of Devin Jones, a college student who gets a summer job at Joyland. There's been a murder a few years, I don't remember how long ago before he starts working there, but a girl was murdered in their sort of house of horrors. I don't remember the name of it. There are rumors that the ghost girl is still haunting the house of this fun house, and he badly wants to see this ghost, and he really enjoys working there. But suddenly, as you might have guessed, it is a Stephen King novel, so things start happening, and yeah, the story just progresses from there. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but this was a really good read. Good book, gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Enjoyed it very much. The next book that I read was My True Love Gave to Me, a selection of short stories set in the theme of winter romance, written by a selection of 12 authors. You have Holly Black, Ali Carter, Matt de la Pena, Gail Forman, Jenny Han, David Levithon, Kelly Link, Myra McIntyre, Stephanie Perkins, Rainbow Rowell, Laini Taylor, and Kirsten White, and it was edited by Stephanie Perkins. I did enjoy some of these stories. I love it when there are short stories collected by different authors, because I don't feel like I see that too much nowadays, especially not in young adult contemporary kind of books. And I really enjoyed this one, but I think I went into it expecting way too much. I think I maybe would have enjoyed it more if I did just pick up a story here or there and sort of drag it out and not force myself through the whole thing. I think some of the stories were really good, and some of them were just didn't do it for me. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was entertaining, enjoyable. It was an easy read, but I feel like it had potential to be so much more. And the last book I read in December, it was Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and it is the story of Tristan Thorn, who is in love with Victoria, and she doesn't really want to be with him, but they together see a fallen star, and she tells him that if he goes capture that star, he will get to marry her, and he goes off onto this great adventure to capture the fallen star and give it to her. And it's an amazing story. It's cute, it's an easy read, it's a fast read. I mean, it's quite a short story. I think it's about 194 pages, so it's quite a fast read. And of course Neil Gaiman's writing is unique and excellent, and yeah, you gotta love Neil Gaiman. I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was very much enjoyable, and I had much fun reading it. That was the books that I got through in December. I got through 10 books, which I think is pretty good. Thank you so much for watching. I will be linking to all the books that I've read down below, so you can get your own copy if you want to, or go to your local bookstore. We always want to support the small independent bookstores. They really need it, so please do that if you have the opportunity to do so. Don't forget to subscribe. I will link to all my social media and to my blog down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.